My name is Jade Hayward, and for my protein project, I did the melanocortin-1 receptor, also known as MC1R. In this protein, we have the mutation that occurs is at the 67th amino acid. Arginine is replaced by cysteine, which causes a mutation that results in lighter skin. In the original normal protein, you have a G here on your DNA and a C here on your mRNA, and then on the mutation side you have a and a U. This is where the change occurs, which leads to a cysteine mutation on the mutation side, and then normally it would have an arginine on the mutation side. In the model, the mutation is represented right here by the pinkish purplish bead, because in the diagram it had a slash in it, and one side was red and one side was brown. So I used this bead, if you can see closely, that it has like a little slash in it to show like when it's either a cysteine or arginine. The difference, instead of making like the normal coily type, like the coil type model, I wanted to use the beads to demonstrate Instead of showing the protein as a whole through coils or other broad circular shaped modeling ideas, I decided to use beads to identify each of the 317 amino acids. So each different bead represents a different amino acid. Melanocortin-1 receptor, also known as MC1R, is made up of 317 amino acids. In the first part, these represent, in the model they had different colors to represent each protein. The colorful ones on this side of the graph represent amino acids that could have become damaged. And that's just in the front part. The rest is just a natural representation. I just wanted to show in the beginning how it would actually look. The rest is just a modeling format. Also, in my project, I wanted to identify the normal function of melanocortin-1. It is the receptor that contributes to the skin and hair color. So if you can tell from the prefix melano stands for, it has the connotation to stand for pigmentation or darker brown color. And you know, melano-1 receptors are usually found in melanocytes, which are cells that produce melanin, which gives you the pigmentation on your skin. On the outside of your hand, if you're African American, you have a darker pigmentation, which means you have more melanocytes, and your melanocytes produce more melanin. On the inside of your hand, you have pretty fair-sided skin, whatever. The mutation of arginine to cysteine at the 67th amino acids results in fair-colored skin. The fair-colored skin also makes you more susceptible to UV radiation damage and other skin-like conditions. Without the mutation, darker hair or darker skin is shown, as you can see in the mouse experimentation. With the mutation was not present, the mouses had very dark colored skin. If the mutation was present, then the mouse had very light colored skin, which is normal, and this representation can be seen throughout most mammals, humans to be exact. And this mutation is very common in mammals because it changes the color of skin and the color of fur. Mammals are very prone to having hair. Hair is an identificator of a mammal. So this is very prevalent in mammals and humans. The mutation mainly affects the cell by decreasing pigmentation in the cell, which can be seen throughout the body. The decrease in pigmentation also is a result of, during the mutation, the replacement of cysteine causes the receptor to be less active. The less activeness of receptor causes it to miss signals or not receive as many signals, which causes the mutation to not receive notification that pigmentation needs to be produced. Since these pigmentations do not become produced, you receive the fair-colored skin, and your fair-colored skin results in you becoming more susceptible to UV radiation damage and other skin-like diseases. Through my research, I was able to distinguish that my protein is a receptor protein. I was able to come to this discovery by realizing that through the way the protein sends out cellular responses and initiates cellular responses, it is able to be classified as a receptor protein. As said before, my protein is found in melanocytes, which primary function is to produce melanin. Throughout the cell that it's found in, the protein is found mainly in the plasma membrane, and its main function is to receive signals to produce more melanin, or not even to produce more melanin, to start the production of melanin. Now I'm going to take a deeper dive into the amino acids that create this mutation and the amino acid present in the normal function. In the normal function, the amino acid present is called arginine. Arginine is a primary hydrophilic amino acid, which means that it interacts very greatly with water. It's also very positively charged, and it's a rather large amino acid. This was determined through various research, and in contrast, cysteine is a rather smaller amino acid, but it also is hydrophilic, meaning that it interacts with water. As well as cysteine has a neutral charge, which also is a very different than the arginine, which is positively charged. To summarize my video, I would also like to point out main factors of my protein that I find particularly important. I want to point out that in the beginning, arginine is a very positively charged amino acid, whereas cysteine, present right here, is a very neutrally charged amino acid. Although they are both hydrophilic, they do have two separate charges. To point out my protein as a whole, it is called MC1R, also known as melanocortin-1 receptor. It's a receptor protein that is found in melanocytes within the melanocyte's plasma membrane. The mutation occurs at the 67th amino acid, where, again, in the beginning, arginine is replaced by cysteine. This protein is also primarily found in mammals, humans to be exact, and the mutation causes more darker skin to be primarily fair. If you have melanocytes with the protein MC1R with the mutation of cysteine, arginine replaced by cysteine at the 67th amino acid, you're going to have more fair toned skin. This mutation doesn't naturally cause damage to the cell or damage to the individual as a whole, but it does make the individual or cells more susceptible to UV radiation. Melanocytes that produce a high level of melanin help protect your skin from UV radiation. For a world-like example, African Americans or people of color, people with darker skin, are not as susceptible to UV radiation, sunburn. Not saying it's not common, but they're not as susceptible as people with fair-colored skin due to the fact that their melanocytes produce a lot of melanin that protect them from these mutations and these damages. Again, my name is Jade Hayward, and the protein I did was melanocortin-1 receptor. Thank you so much, and have a great day.